Hello and welcome to Operation Remote Resilience. My name is Lisa and I'm a certified Warriors at Ease yoga teacher. Today I will be your guide through a gentle chair yoga class designed to de-stress and get in touch with breath. So let's start please by setting up a good seat. Line your feet up in front of you, knees up in front of you, and lengthen the torso, relax the shoulders. And let's start by getting in touch with breath. So if possible, keeping your mouth closed as you breathe generates a little more energy. And obviously, if you have any allergies or any breathing restrictions going on, then do what serves you. And either maybe picking a spot on the floor to just drop your gaze down to, or closing the eyes if you would like. And start by listening to the breath. What's the orientation of your breath? Is it being drawn by the action of the diaphragm, contracting, drawing the breath in? And as the breath comes in, the belly moves out. So fully utilizing the full capacity of the lungs by breathing all the way down to the bottom of the lungs. And again, as breath comes in, belly comes out. And notice the quality of the breath. Does it feel like you could be a little deeper? A little fuller? So without forcing or feeling it in a natural strain, maybe make the breath a little more satisfying, a little more full. And just as completely emptying the breath out. And nothing to do right here, right now, but breathe. If you listen closely, you may notice the sound of the breath moving in the nostrils over the palate. And you can increase that by just very slightly pressing your tongue up against the palate, so creating that seashell sound, that audible reminder of breath. So just breathing in, breathing out. . And just using these few minutes to just refine what the body already knows how to do, to breathe. And just checking in with it. Sitting for just a moment and checking how that breathing practice landed in your body, knowing that that's a resource that you can depend on if you start to feel a little anxious and need for a little more rootedness of grounding. Just the simple act of sitting and listening to breath. So starting with our next steps in practice, working with the neck here, and I'm mirroring you, so looking to your left, and unclench the jaw, and keep the breath moving. Turning the head through the center and on to the right. And not forcing it, just taking it through your range of motion. Feeling the shoulders move down away. Torso long, breathing area open. Again, moving through center, one last time, looking to the left. And back to the right. Looking straight ahead. Again, checking your feet lined up, knees over the feet, torso long. And then letting the left ear move in the direction of the left shoulder. So still stretching the neck, but now from a different angle, different part of the neck, and maybe up. You might even feel the stretch around the ear, the jaw, into the scalp, possibly down into the shoulder, and just letting the weight of the head do the work, not forcing it. And breathing. Back to center, and to the other side. And feeling the support underneath you, feet into the floor, backs of the leg into the chair. Lifting the head up, and leaning forward slightly, letting the head drop down. And keeping ample space between the chin and the throat so that you're not cutting off breath. Maybe even letting the spine decompress, the shoulders round forward. Sitting up. And letting the head drop back, but in a supported way. So controlling it, looking up at the ceiling, and not moving the head back as far as it can go, so not straining into the back of the neck, just enough to open up the shoulders, open up the throat. And continuing to breathe. So we breathe obviously all the time, but in a yoga practice, it gives us the opportunity to just keep checking back in with breath. Letting the breath be the source of feeling supported, of feeling rooted, feeling grounded. Looking straight ahead again. And then turning the head to the left shoulder. And right before the shoulder, letting the head drop. So again, stretching the neck, but now even a different part. Back to the middle. And taking the head to the right. Bringing the head up. Now incorporating some movement, so making this a little more dynamic versus static. As though you were shaking your head no. Moving your head side to side and not. Forcing it, just your natural range of motion. And making it up and down. And last, moving the chin from shoulder to shoulder, letting the head drop. And if your pace is slower, faster than mine, you're following your range of motion, that's absolutely perfect. So back to the center again, and maybe test out. Notice that even your jaw might feel a little looser, your face a little more relaxed. So now bring your fingertips onto the shoulders, sitting up straight. Bring the elbows in front and around. So warming up the shoulder sockets. And breathing. Take it the opposite direction. Okay, now pause here and bring the elbows towards each other and make sure you're not transferring that tension back in your neck. And it doesn't matter if the elbows meet, how far they come, and so we're opening up. You can feel the tops of the shoulder blades on your back move away from each other, so the back opens up and your chest contracts. Now, opposite action here is we move the elbows towards the back body. Tops of the shoulder blades move together. The upper back contracts, and we're opening up the chest, freeing up the breathing area. And again, just make sure that you can still move your neck. All that work we did on the neck, you don't want to just throw it all away. Okay, and then release that. And hold on to the left tricep with the right hand. Make sure the shoulder stays neutral, so it doesn't want to creep up to your ear. And just pull that arm around for a gentle stretch on the arm, probably even feeling that on the top of the shoulder, maybe even into the back. And breathing. Release that down and taking it to the other side. And just you're in control of how much stretch you have here. So taking it to the point where you're feeling a nice stretch, never to the point of feeling pain or being very uncomfortable with it. So you're in charge. Okay, we're going to change that a little bit by bringing the arm overhead. Again, torso's long. And just pulling the left arm across your head. Again, I'm mirroring you. And feeling a stretch here, not just in the arm, but probably in the side body from armpit to hip. And as you stretch up and out, notice the support of your feet into the mat, backs of your legs into the chair. From that support, the ability to lengthen up. And switch it to the other side. Release that down. And as though you were pushing something away, extend your arms out. Fingers spread wide. And so you're pulling the fingers towards each other. Again, letting the shoulders relax down. They want to creep up to the ears. Torso long. And let the fingertips go down. So we're just giving the wrists some attention here. Bring the fingers, hands one way, another way. Okay, and then just shake it out. And so again, line up, feet straight ahead, knees straight ahead, torso long. Keep the sitting bones rooted, grounded into the chair. And from the support underneath you, start to twist the torso to the left, keeping the spine long, keeping the chest open. And you can kind of traction yourself here. Hold on with your opposite hand to the leg, left hand maybe on the chair behind you. And so twisting through the torso. And if it feels okay in your neck, turning to look over the left shoulder. Back to center. And continuing on to the other side. And again, if it's, you can add the head. So back to neutral. And holding on with your left hand to the chair. Flip the palm of your right hand open. And coming into some side bending here. So again, facilitating breath by stretching the muscles between the ribs, the intercostal muscles. And feeling the support underneath you, and from that rootedness, the ability to extend out. Second side. Feeling the stretch from fingertips to armpit, armpit to hip, and again supported by the feet into the floor, backs of the legs into the chair. And scoot forward a little bit. Make sure you still have a supported seat, obviously. Just giving yourself a little space behind the back of the chair here. And we're going to do some seated cat-cow. So to start with, let the belly button pull in. Let the shoulders round. Spine decompresses. Neck follows the spine. Hands are just resting on the hips. The thighs. And lengthen up. Keep moving. So let the shoulders move back. Let the chest open up. Looking up. And articulating through each vertebrae of the spine. So as we did the neck, we moved the spine in 6 directions, forward and backward, twisting, and side bending. Now, start to maybe incorporate this with your breath, and you might find that it feels more natural to inhale, expand out, and exhaling down. And so if you're following your breath, your movement may be faster or slower than mine, which is perfect. It's fine. Okay, coming back to neutral and taking it into a hip flexor stretch, number 4 pose. And you can either just cross the ankle, so we're going to start with the right leg. You can cross the ankle over, or pick the leg up and cross the ankle over the knee. And second toe, center of the knee, so I'm not letting the foot sickle. I can actually press out a little bit with the big, the ball of the foot here. So I'm keeping the foot active, but not overly active. It's always that place in the middle. And then leaning forward slightly and extending the arms out. So trying to keep the arms in line with the ears and breathing. Switch it to the other side. And remember, you can do the ankle cross. And coming forward. So obviously this is a chair yoga class, so we're seated in the chair the whole time. And if you are working or having something that you have to be in the chair all the time, taking breaks to walk around is a good thing. Release that down. So again, feet are straight ahead and working with some little more dynamic movement with breath here. So flipping the palms up, arms overhead, and again, incorporating your breathing pattern into it. So maybe inhaling up, exhaling down, your pace, your timing, your tempo. And if possible, keeping the mouth closed, unless again you have any congestion or whatever going on that makes the breath a little more energetic. Okay, going to change that slightly. So just bringing the arms overhead and now hold on to the right wrist with the left arm. And pulling yourself open and breathing. Then take it to the other side. And just as we started, coming back to breath. So taking a good seat, just let your hands rest on your thighs, relax the shoulders down. Nothing to do but breathe. Steady inhale, steady exhale. And again, knowing this is a resource that you can tap into at any time. So, thank you so much for joining me as part of Operation Remote Resilience. Please consider visiting the link below to make a donation, ensuring the continued accessibility of resources like these. Supporters like you make it possible for Warriors at Ease teachers like me to continue to serve those who serve. This is Lisa signing off Operation Remote Resilience in Health, Resilience, and Connection. And thank you so much for joining me.